Hello, good evening, welcome fellow humans. Today I am making a Batwing Bolero. I don't really have any explanation for this other than those are two words that sound good together and I kind of want to make it, so I think I'm gonna make it. A while ago I was playing my tabletop game and just had a bored moment, decided to make a doodle, and so this is what I am aiming for, I think. I've got some cute lace that I'm going to use for like the outer hem. I just want some real big wings, some like a bell wing almost, and then I think right there to give it the bat wing. I'm just going to go ahead and put in like a fringe, it just kind of in the shape. Nothing super crazy. That's about it. I don't really have a whole lot of plans. I'm not using a pattern. I'm just gonna drape it on my mannequin. Let's just get into this and I'm gonna make my Batwing Bolero. I'm gonna go ahead and mark my center point. This will just help me out later. I don't know if you can see that super well, hopefully. So I've got a good half drawn. Right there would be my center seam, so I can put this to paper, just flip it over and be able to have like a full body like back. So right now I think I need to go through, figure out where I want the end to be without the front. That's a little bit difficult. I think I'll just cut this little bit out and just like leave it super long and then figure that out when I've got the front blocked out. I know it's not going to be this long. At most, I think I want the back to end right there, but for now, I'm just going to cut that out. So this is the current shape right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and drape the front panel, or at least half of it. So this is where we're at. Let's see, I've got, I think that figured out. I kind of like that shape. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, it's going to be covered in lace anyway. I think it'll be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that. Mark off that dart. So yeah, we've definitely got a dart right there just to like shape it a little bit. That's fine, I'll work with that. But I am going to smooth everything and mark it off, so I've got a clear marker of where that dart's gonna be later on. There we go. Okay, so I made just like a few dots. I think it's gonna be pretty hard to see, but I made a few dots like on either end of the dart, so later I'll be able to like draw out the triangle. Cute. Okay, so now I can go and do my shape for the back, for the bottom. And so this I kind of want to mimic like the bat body shape a little bit, so I think I'm gonna go to a little bit of a like point down here. Okay, there we go. Here's where we're standing. I'm only doing half because I suck at symmetry, so if I can only make half and just replicate the other half, then that's fine and it works. So center seam, I know I'm just going to put this on a fold when I actually cut it out. And then I've got, this is where my side seams are. I do not have seam allowance, so I'm going to transfer this onto a piece of wrapping paper and then do a full mock-up. So I've got that. I've got one dart right here just to kind of shape it a little bit. I did kind of want it loose, but at the same time I do kind of like a little bit of shape. So we're doing that. And then the arm's eye, I think this is nice and not super like huge. Like this arm's eye is massive. Like I don't need it that big. Then I want to do slight poof on the sleeve here. So I'm going to overshoot this length on the sleeve pattern. I'm just going to draft that one because it's kind of a weird shape. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, and then I think I like this shape right here. I think that turned out okay. And then the little closure would be like right here. I'll mark that. Yeah, there we go. So that's where the closure will be. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go get my wrapping paper and I will draft out the sleeve and that. Alright, so now I just need to transfer all of this these two pattern pieces onto my wrapping paper, and then I'll add seam allowance. I'm probably just going to do like a 5/8 seam allowance because that's just what I do with everything. So yeah, I'm just going to do that. Probably also like fix some of the angles as I go. Now I'm going to go ahead and draft the sleeve. Let's see, 23, it looks like 23 is the length of my arm. I'm gonna add another 3 inches to make it nice and long and account for all of these seams. I will be 26 inches on the shortest bit, and then I think I can go all the way to like 32 inches for the bottom of the bell. Actual worst. 36 inches and a yard, so I can do a 36-inch bell and have just enough lace to do that. So I gotta make sure. Okay, good grief. Oh, alright, let's just do this. So I'm just gonna draft half of this and mirror it. So this is the current mock-up for just the body of the Bolero. There's a few things. This arm size is definitely too small. The hang of it's great. I don't mind the dart here. I'll probably line this so it probably won't be as pointy on the final. I like how this is laying right now. The only issue I have is with the arm side, and that causing the back to be a little bit tight. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mark how much I think I want to take off of it and then just adjust the pattern for that. And then I will attach the sleeves. So let me go ahead and mark how much I need for this arm's eye adjustment. Cut that out real fast and then I'll just see how it does. If I need to adjust the back after this, then I'll just add to the center however much I think I need. I do kind of like the little tail it's got. I think that's kind of adorable. And I think it, I don't know, maybe it reads bad, maybe not. Maybe I'm just kind of weird. It's highly possible. Oh, so much better. Just immediately so much better. It's so hard to put this other one on. Like, there's gonna be a bit of a struggle, especially because I have poofy sleeves right now. Okay, that's all of my sleeve finally out of the hole. Okay, so like that's super tight and it's pulling everything like real tough. Can't really move my arm too much without it just like it feels tight. And the little bottom tail is so cute. I love it. This side immediately better. And I think that's all I needed to do to fix all of the pulling issues. Yeah, and it's not gapping anywhere super bad. Yeah, that's a really good point for a sleeve. I mean, obviously there's a sleeve there. So yeah, okay. Well, that works. I'm going to go cut the other arm. This sucks. I'm gonna fix this side. And then I'm going to actually put the mock-up sleeves together and put them on this and see how that looks. So I will see you in a little bit. Okay, so here we are. Now, I like the fit. Doesn't feel too restrictive. The sleeve, I'm not super happy with. I definitely need to change this. I think I gotta invert this curve. That doesn't look super good. Like just hanging. I don't know if you can kind of see that. It's not super great, not quite what I was going for. So I'm gonna alter that a little bit. So far, I think it's looking pretty adorable. Yeah. I think I need to move that curve up. So I'm just going to alter the sleeve pattern next. I don't think I need to alter the actual bolero like body too much. I think it's fitting pretty good right now. I think I like. So yeah, I just need to alter the sleeves next. Alright, so here is the current mock-up. I have two different sleeves on. I did two different sleeve mock-ups after the first one just to quickly hone in on the little adjustments I wanted to make. The biggest thing that changed, let's see, nope, that's 3. Okay, so this one is number 2. This is the second sleeve mock-up I made. It's still got this weird point thing happening. Stiff. And I do plan on lining this whole thing, so if this is stiff right now with just that, it's not gonna look great as a sleeve. And even when it's just hanging, it's not super, it's got, the point is too much. I adjusted that, I lifted, I made the sleeve a little bit slimmer in the right places. So I adjusted the curve. And this is sleeve mock-up number 3. I love it a lot more. I like the bell curve that it's got here. This, I mean, it's still going to be a little bit stiff, but honestly, this looks a little bit more natural to fall. I love how the fringe came out on both of the sleeves. I love it. It was pretty much, I got it. And it looks like little wings. I got little wings. Next up is I'm going to cut it out of both the lining fabric and the outer fabric. I'm going to make sure I have enough lace and just put it all together after I get it cut out. So that's what I'm going to go do next. Now that the pattern is figured out, I can just cut it out of my fabric. I'm using a thrifted curtain for the outer fabric and just some non-stretch cotton for the lining. I also have 4 yards of a lace I'm going to be using for the outer edges. Starting the construction of the bolero with the sleeves, I'm going to get the fringe out of the way first. With wrong sides facing out, I'm going to sew 2 layers of the curtain fabric along the curved outer edge. After I get that line done on both, I'll flip them right sides out. I will then press that seam and run a top stitch along the edge just to hold everything flat. Next up, to attach the fringe to the sleeve, I'll take the outer layer of the sleeve and fold it in half to match along the long edge. Then I will place the fringe between those 2 layers with the flat edge matching it, and then the fringe inside the little pouch I'm making. I'll go ahead and pin both sleeves and get the lining for the sleeves pinned as well. Then I'll run a line of stitches along that long seam, all 4 of the sleeve pieces, about a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Because this fabric is just disintegrating in my hands while I'm working on this, I'll go ahead and finish up the sleeves as much as I can with the curtain fabric on the inside and the lining fabric on the outside, right side facing. I'm going to place the lace between those layers, a lot like how I did with the fringe for the longer seam on the sleeves, but this time it will be along the bell opening of the sleeve, and it'll just encase the lace inwards so that when I flip it right side out, it lay flat. Once this is pinned for both sleeves, of course I'm going to run a seam along that edge, making sure the lace is being caught in this fabric. After that, I can flip the sleeve right sides out and then shove the lining inside of the sleeve and then do a top stitch to just hold everything flat and in place. I hate darts, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get all 4 of them done and out of the way first, now that we're starting on the body of the bolero. Since I had the dart marked on the pattern from when I draped it, I just followed the marked lines, flipped it in half at the dart's middle line, and followed the outer line to sew the dart. Now that the darts are done, I'll get the rest of the body all connected. The shoulders of the front panels are going to connect to the shoulders of the back panels with right sides facing together. Then I'll get the side seams connected as well using that same 5/8 seam allowance. I'll do this for both the outer layers and the lining layers just in one quick go. Next up, I'm going to get the lace onto the body of the bolero, same way I did with the sleeves. I'll layer the outer fabric and the lining with wrong sides facing out. I'll then place the lace between those 2 layers and sew it all together, matching the long flat edge of the lace with the outer edge so that the lace is facing in between the layers instead of out. Once that is all done on the entire outer length of the bolero body, I'll go ahead and flip that right sides out and do that same top stitch along the edge to hold it flat. Next, I need to get the sleeves attached to the body of the bolero. Off camera, I did a quick gathering stitch along the shoulder of the sleeve. Using that, I'll ease the sleeve into the bolero through the arm's eye. Although, after I did this, I tried it on and I realized the arm's eye was somehow still too small. So I went back and opened the hole up a little bit more, then reattached the sleeve. Unfortunately, I lost all of the poof that I was hoping to have in the shoulder, but it's whatever. To finish off the raw edges in the arm's eye, I'm just going to close it in some bias tape. To finish this completely, I do need to do the button closures I had planned for the front. So I'm gonna attach 2 buttons, one on either side, and then make a little loop thing with just buttonhole stitch around a loop of thread that's the right size. I did this in another video, and this one is just like the longer version of that. absolutely love it. It turned out so cute. It turned out absolutely adorable. I love the wings. I absolutely adore these wings. I love the little points. I love that it like flows that way. I absolutely love that it kind of looks like actual wings on my arms. And the buttons, I'm super happy with how the buttons came out. They might be just a smidge low, but you know what, that's fine. I adore how this little cord came out. I do apologize that it has taken so long to get this video done. Life got in the way a lot. My house is deciding to just fall apart, so I had to deal with that for like a week. So where I live, it's already snowing, and I hate that. So unfortunately, I was a little bit slow on getting this out in a way that I could actually wear it throughout the season. I was really hoping I'd have at least a week or so. I might still, but that's very questionable. It's already getting really cold, and to the point that I already need like a full-on jacket. But as I am learning today, if I wear a long sleeve shirt under this, it's pretty heckin' warm. So I might just be okay with that. I love this. I love how the lace turned out on the sleeves and around the bottom. I think it turned out so adorable. I even gave it a little tail. I really, really want to put beads on this thing, and I still might. Where I would put them is just like at the ends of these points. Just enough so that it's got like a little bit of a dangly to it. Oh, maybe like a white something along the border. Something I was having some trouble with before filming the reveal, and the final thoughts here is I don't really have a whole lot of under layers or outer layers or something layers that would go under the bolero that would actually show the lace. I definitely have the goth problem of too much black clothing. There's never enough black clothing. Who am I kidding? So while I was making it, the one thing that did kind of go wrong is I don't know, it's pulling in a few weird places. And that is simply the fault of the material that I used. I don't really like to use store-bought fabric a whole lot, so with this one I ended up having to use a single half-used curtain. Like, I'd already cut into this curtain once before, so it was already used when I decided to make this bolero. Because of that, I couldn't be super picky about the grain lines. We're just all over the place with grain lines, which unfortunately means the material is pulling and tugging and stretching in some weird ways, which is why the back situation is the situation. It's fine. I think the overall vibe, just, it's too cute and too whimsical for me to really care about that too much. I made it look as good as I can, and it's overall really freaking cute. I'm so happy with this. Let me know what you thought about this. If you were able to make one along with me, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!